What is up, everybody, and welcome to another video. In today's video, I actually have quite a lot to talk about that is related to these squiddies, but not directly related to these squiddies. So, as you may know, very soon we are having a drop for the final version of the Squiddy WH. So this is the first release version, and this is the final version. There's a lot of differences between them. None of them are like super crazy, but the main ones are the jimping is a little bit deeper and better. It also has been adjusted so that it won't affect the O-rings. We have, better, there's a bite handle marker now on the blade, which is pretty sick, and the rounding of the handles has been increased, which you can kind of see. The one on the right is more rounded than the one on the left, which actually increases the comfort while flipping a substantial amount, which I've been surprised by. So that's pretty cool. There's some children playing downstairs. But yeah, so that's the Squiddy WH. It's coming out in a couple days on the 13th. Once again, mark your calendars. But that isn't the reason I'm making this video. No, the reason I'm making this video is because I kind of wanted to talk about what Will Flips has been recently and how I'm not fully satisfied with it. You've probably noticed that a lot of Will Flips recently has been me talking about the products we're working on. And I'm very proud of all of these products. I think that they're really cool. I think there's some really cool stuff going on. We've got the Squiddies, we've got the Volt Pro, and all of that. And there's a lot of projects happening at the same time. But that also means that there's a lot of projects happening at the same time, which means a few things. The first thing it means is that it is exhausting for me. I'm trying to keep up with all these different things and, make it happen and make sure that you guys are aware of everything that's happening, and that's just been a bit of a challenge. On top of that, it's also been difficult because, that's not all I want to talk about. Does that make sense? And I have a feeling it's also not everything you guys even want to listen to. I'm very thankful that you guys are interested in the projects that I'm working on, and I really appreciate the support, especially with stuff like the Squiddy WH and whatnot, but, that's not what I wanted this channel to be. I don't want this channel just to be the dumping ground for, oh yeah, this is the project I'm working on, and this is how you can buy it, and whatever. That's also not what I want this channel to be. And so I wanted to talk about that a bit today and how I've been a little stuck because of all of these things happening at the same time. I talked about this before, but originally it was supposed to be the Volt Pro was supposed to happen a lot longer ago than it actually did. And delays and stuff with the Volt Pro made it more difficult and pushed it into the same time frame that the Squiddy WH was going to be happening. And so this was supposed to be the Volt Pro would have happened months ago, and then the Squiddy WH would have happened, and there would have been nice time for each of these projects to breathe and be their own project and not have to be talked about over one another. And that didn't happen. The Volt Pro got delayed, and then the Squiddy WH sort of happened at the same time. And so now I've been trying to juggle talking about both, which is exhausting and also leads to every video on this channel being about one of those two products, which is neat, but not what I want this channel to be about. What I want this channel to be is what it has been for a long time, which is just me talking about whatever I happen to be interested in at the time. I find all sorts of stuff interesting, and I want to share those interesting things with you guys. But today I wanted to share a little bit more about how we actually make money on YouTube and why these collaboration products exist. There's a very good reason for it. On YouTube, we don't. What do I mean by that? I mean, we don't make money on YouTube, basically at all. And that might be shocking to you guys because we have on our main channel like 160,000 subscribers, which is really cool, and I'm really thankful for it. But YouTube ad revenue, at least for our videos, is really bad. Last month, we made in the neighborhood, I actually think it was slightly less than this. Last month, we made about $350. I think it was even slightly less than this. $350 off of YouTube. That sounds like a lot of money if you do not have to be an adult. So if you're young, then that might sound like a lot of money, but I can assure you that as an adult, that is not a lot of money. And I can put that into perspective in the sense of the rent for my apartment is about $2,000 a month. So $350 is not going to help me pay rent. But unfortunately, it's actually worse than that because Brandon and I share everything 50-50. We share all of our revenue 50-50. Therefore, that $350 we had is actually about $175 a person. And that's what we made off of ad revenue last month. Like in the past 28 days, I went and I looked and it was like less than $350. So that's not great. I think you can agree. That's not going to pay rent. That's not going to help us survive. We made almost double that off of our Patreon the last month. Like you can go look at our Patreon. I make sure there's an option to like hide how much money you actually make on Patreon, and I don't like that option. I like to be more clear about these things. So our Patreon is open, and that's a reason that our patrons are so important, is that you guys literally support us more than YouTube does. That's crazy. So first of all, shout out to our patrons. Thank you so much for your support. But also, like, yeah, we're not making bank off of YouTube, unfortunately. That's not really how it works. And so that leads to this thing of, well, this is our job now, and we need to be making money. How do we do that in a way that does not compromise our ability to review products and do the videos that we want to do? Okay? And that's where these collaborative products come in. I'm sure you can think, you know, originally a lot of our money that actually supported us has come from some of our sponsorship deals with like Squid Industries and Machine Wise, you know, the affiliate codes and whatnot. Those are very helpful for us for making money. Those make us a lot more money than YouTube does, and so we're actually able to like pay our rent through that. However, that was okay for a while, and then we kind of changed how we did those affiliate things, and then the affiliate links became less effective, and now, basically, the main thing that is making us money, the main thing that has kept us afloat and has made us able to continue to make these videos and not have to completely go under and stop making videos and everything like that, has been the Vulp. The sales of the Vulp have been the best thing we have done for this channel. And there's multiple reasons for that. Not only is it a good Balisong in and of itself, but also it's something that I'm genuinely proud of. Like, I worked on it and I designed it, so I don't feel bad advertising it to you guys, because instead of it being me like advertising somebody else's product, I'm advertising my own product that I designed, that I genuinely believe in, and so I don't feel weird about trying to like sell it to you. But on top of that, the other thing too is that those affiliate agreements are fine and are good for us for making money, but they also kind of reduce our, I think, ability to make unbiased reviews, because an affiliate agreement means that you are necessarily going to have some kind of bias in your review. And that's just how it works. There's nothing you can really do about that. It is just part of the system. It's how it works. If you are making money from an affiliate agreement with a company, you're inherently probably going to like that company slightly more than someone who is not making money from that company. So, like, there's going to be bias there. And so the idea behind these collaborative products is that they don't link us to the sales of any other product. Instead, they link us to the sales of just the one collaborative product. And what's cool about that is that that means that the only thing we need to do is advertise the product. But on top of that, it means that our reviews are less based off of our biases, right? We already do our best to make sure our reviews are as unbiased as possible, but it is a genuine problem of, like, even unconsciously, you're going to have biases. So we try to mitigate that, and this is one of the ways we're doing that. I think the other thing for me is, like, when it comes to selling the product, it's not like we're advertising the Vulp, especially in our main channel videos. It's not like we're advertising the Vulp in every video. As a matter of fact, we intentionally do not bring up any of the products that we've worked on unless they are a good comparison point. So if we have like a aluminum balisong, that's a beginner focused thing, then we'll like show the Vulp and be like, oh yeah, and you know, if you think the grip on the Vulp is bad, well, this one actually has better grip, so that's a good comparison point, or whatever. You know, we can compare the Vulp to the product we're talking about, and that mentions the Vulp, but it's not advertising the Vulp. It's using the Vulp as a comparison point. The only time that I really feel comfortable with us advertising the Vulp is not when it's set against another product that we're reviewing, but instead it's like in a Will Reacts, where somebody, you know, has a Vulp. And then we're like, oh, that person has a Vulp. You can get your own Vulp on Amazon or whatever. You know, like that's a much more natural way to advertise something like that. That isn't... What feels wrong to me is like trying to outcompete somebody else in a review of their own product. Like that's stupid. That's terrible. I don't want that. And so that's sort of what I'm talking about. Or, you know, we like in the Amazon unboxing videos, then we're going to advertise the Vulp, because like that's the whole point of the Vulp, is that we're unboxing all of these not great knives from Amazon, and the Vulp was created to be a better knife from Amazon, so you could, you know, use it. So there's like reasons for these things, right? So the reason that we're now working on more things like the Squiddy WH or the Vulp Pro is because we need more sources of revenue to make sure that we are okay for the foreseeable future. You know, the fact that the Vulp has been supporting our channel is great. The sales of the Vulp have been the singular thing that has kept our channel going, and I want to be completely honest about that. However, it's not great that that is the only thing, right? Like, we need to be doing better than that. By having the Vulp be the only thing that supports us, we're in a bit of a pickle, you know? Like, if something happens in the Vulp, for instance, actually, I can give you a great example. Remember when the Vulp was taken off of Amazon? That hurt us very badly financially. Like, that was an immediate, massive decline in Vulp sales because it was taken off of Amazon, which hit us directly. And so that's why I want to diversify our, you know, product offerings, because then if one of them goes away, it doesn't absolutely tank our ability to pay rent, because that would suck. I hope something like that doesn't happen. Whoopsie. It already did. So yeah, the idea here is multifaceted in that way. But also on top of that, I'm not just making products because I need to pay rent or whatever. The other half of it is I really like the product thing because it's fulfilling to me as well. I make these products because I come up with an idea that I think should exist. So with the Squiddy WH, the idea of making a Squiddy that is more flippable was very intriguing to me. I think making a pro style Squiddy is really, really cool and a good idea. And so that had reason to exist for me. Similarly with the Vulp Pro, I wanted to create a Vulp that was a higher quality, more moddable thing that could compete at a very good price, around 150 bucks. And I think we achieved that. So these products that I'm making, they're not just like cash grabs that I'm throwing out there for no reason. Man, my voice is dying today. You know, they're not just cash grabs that are being thrown out there for no reason. They exist for a purpose, and they are fulfilling that purpose. And, you know, that's why I'm very proud of them. I don't want to release things that don't have a meaning or don't hold value. I want to release things that are important to the community and affect it in good ways. And, like, this allows me to do that. So all of this is to say that, first of all, the Squiddy is being released on the 13th. If you want one, please buy it and support us. I would appreciate it. But also, yeah, YouTube doesn't make us much money. It's not a very good source of revenue. Instead, what I'm trying to do is kind of skirt the line between creating stuff that is worth it for people to purchase, that brings genuine value to the table, and allows people to, you know, get something out of it that is good and useful. but also something that can bring us much more value to the channel as well, without destroying our credibility as reviewers. That's the main thing here too, is like on our main channel, the actual advertising that we will do on the main channel for like the Volt Pro and the Squiddy WH and all that stuff is we're going to make some shorts about it, and there will be one main video that releases it. And then the only thing that'll happen after that point is it'll get mentioned every once in a while when it is appropriate in videos. You know, we're not shoving this thing down your throat. We're not trying to absolutely saturate your every movement with this product the way that like Facebook does or whatever. Instead, I want to go about this in a way that feels more genuine and straightforward, and I want to be as clear as possible about what we're doing in a way that involves the community rather than rejects the community. I want you guys to feel involved in these production processes. There's a reason that with the Squiddy WH, I wanted to release it and then listen to community feedback and then make changes for this final version. Like that was intentional because I want to involve the community in our processes. I want to make the best thing we possibly can, and I really believe that we can do that. And so far we have. I'm very thankful for the community involvement that we've been able to have. So anyways, this is a bit of a rambling video, but yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of this. Were you surprised to hear our figures in terms of the money we're actually making off of YouTube and how low that is? Do you have any suggestions for what I've been doing on this channel? I will let you know that in the near future, I plan to not talk about the products nearly as much anymore because while I'm very proud of them and like I had to because of the timing of both of these things happening at the same exact time, I really want to get back to just talking about stuff that I enjoy and stuff that I'm interested in that you guys would also be interested in. So let me know what you have thoughts-wise about that, and what you've thought about the content so far. Because I will say, it seems like people have been enjoying what I've been producing. I've been trying to make what I've been making more thought-provoking than not. And I try to be more genuine on this channel as much as possible because I do genuinely like talking to you guys, and I do genuinely like expressing myself and being straightforward and whatnot. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I guess that's pretty much it for this one. Thank you all for watching. This thing's going to be out soon, and I'm very excited about it. Anyways, I'll talk to you all later. Peace.